Okay, so we continue. We didn't finish last time. We have a lot of discussion, Baruch HaShem. Chapter number 19, Shearing. Okay, so we start with wigs, common wigs. So shearing in the plucking hair, right? So we said a few last things that we said. So we're not allowed to brush or comb our hair. So there is like a few exceptions, but they like basically no. So now we're talking about wig, right? So wig, it's something like it's not the actual place of growth for the hair. They were inserted there, so maybe it is different. So let's see. The Melachah of shearing pertains only to the severing the item naturally attached to the base from which it grew, right? So like from hair, nails, all of these things, right? Thus, removing hair from the wig is not included in the category of shearing. Some authorities state, however, that pulling a hair from a wig is prohibited under Melachah of Shearing, Korea. Right, meaning tearing when you tear a piece of paper or something, right? And one must therefore not comb or brush wig on Yom Tov, except in the manner in which one can comb hair or brush hair on Shabbos. Okay, so basically we said this very like soft bristles, very long and stuff like that. And person that does it very slow, and that's it. Okay. Others authorities disagree and permit the combing and brushing wigs in the usual fashion. It is preferable to abide by the stringent opinion. Okay, so but this argument that it's not a place of original growth, I mean, stands. But those of the first opinion, those sages of the first opinion, they did not say it's shearing. I mean, it's obvious not. So it says like tearing. So we're not allowed to tear anything on Shabbos or Yom Tov. Okay. So and I would say the steering issue. So some people like to play with things, right? Around the table, for example, with a napkin. With a used napkin, and they folded this and that, and then sometimes they would tear, even though they do not tear for in a constructive purpose and like trying to achieve anything, but still, even for in destructive, right in the destructive manner, is still forbidden under the rabbinic decree. Okay, so of course, person did not mean to, of course, this and that, but so don't touch the napkin. Okay, continue. Preceding rule pertains mainly to the wigs made from human hairs. Wigs made from synthetic fibers usually have the hair attached firmly to the base. Okay, and these hairs do not invariably come out through brushing. It is permitted to brush the comb with such a wigs on Yom Tov in the usual fashion. Okay, one is advised to test the wig on a weekday to see if brushing it forcefully remove any hair. Okay, no problem. So basically, right. So according to second opinion, 1 second was according to the first opinion. So if the hairs are going to come out, it's a problem of tearing. So if it's synthetic, they're holding there very, very strong, and he said anyway test it on the weekday, right? Of course, have to test if it's not from India. Continue. Next one, removing band-aid. So that's removing band-aid, especially for men, that's a problem, right? It is forbidden to pull a band-aid off the hairy part of the body. For example, back of the hand on Yom Tov, since some hair inevitably come out in a process, like guaranteed, right? The band-aid must be removed. If the band must be removed because of causing pain, right? Because the ointment must be applied to the wound, or because one needs to immerse in a mikveh, a Gentile should be asked to remove it. If no Gentile is available, one is permitted to remove Band-Aid while being careful not to pull out any hair. So basically, like if you have a Band-Aid, so for sure it's going to pull some hair. So under normal circumstances, it is not allowed. Normal circumstances, it's not allowed. Again, why? Because it's going to pull hairs. But if you need to change the ointment or something, right? Maybe, right? So it would be allowed, but must be very, very careful. So I guess maybe like if it is open wound, of course it is a problem. So just be careful, of course, and have intention not to pull any hairs, of course. But even though you would pull most likely that you're going to pull, but at least it was not your intention, and you were doing it for some other purpose. Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Question.
The solution report about wigs, but not particularly about Yom Tov.
Mm-hmm.
Should I?
Yeah. Wigs. Yeah. Let's do wigs. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Position lulav. Question about the wig. I heard even for synthetic wigs, they're still composed of a few percent of real hair. Does it render a wig unkosher?
I mean, yes. So yeah, that's a very good question. I mean, it's not exactly on the topic, but how much of avodah zarah you need to make something for prohibited, even one hair. So even if you have one hair from this Indian wig temple, it makes the whole wig prohibited. So we're not allowed. So the big idea is, so we're not allowed to derive any pleasure from avodah zarah. Right. So even from one hair. Okay.